everybody, this is Isaac from Hanson. You are on popularity.com.
Being around for so many years and starting so young, what do you feel has been your key to success that has sustained you in such a grueling industry?
The thing, a couple of specific things. One is the inspiration that got us to where we were in the first place, which was being ourselves, and not being afraid to be ourselves, and not being afraid to evolve naturally and do what was most musically exciting for us. That's what made us, I think, unique in the first place. And so we always wanted to maintain that sensibility, and that was one of the things certainly that has kept us sane, and I think sustained us on a personal level, as well as I think for our fan base. I like to think that it's also been a part of what has kept them interested and excited about what we've been doing. And then I think one of the other things which is absolutely crucial is that we were always focused on making decisions that we felt like were based on long-term success and not on short-term success, meaning if there was an option to do, one or the other thing, that we would tend to choose the one that we felt like would give us the most longevity and the most credibility with our peers and the most credibility with our fan base, as much as possible, and in most cases, I think that has been a huge part of what we've done. I mean, it was partially decisions on merchandising and things like that, and not kind of exploiting the obvious opportunities just for the sake of monetary gain. And I think for us that's been something that has always been important. And then I think the third thing is just always knowing that no one was going to care as much as you do about what you're doing, about what your career will look like in 20 years, about your music. A producer can make a record and move on, a writer can write a song and move on, a merchandise company or a record label can use your image and exploit it as best as they can with your permission, and then move on. So for us, I think those are three kind of key cornerstones in our decision-making process.
How would you describe your new album, Shout It Out?
I would describe the new album as the most connected record to our musical roots that we've ever made. It is a very kind of upbeat, soulful pop rock combo of music. Maybe one of the most upbeat records we've ever made. In fact, actually, I think it is the most upbeat record we've ever made. And I would also say, it connects. I think it connects emotionally very well to a lot of things that people have connected with Hanson with over the years. Some of that kind of exuberance that came from our early records with the obvious element of our youth and whatnot, playing to our advantage at that point, and then also as the records have kind of continued to evolve, and as we've evolved musically as a band, there are definitely some of the more kind of bluesy and gospel qualities, and some of them slightly more aggressive and rock type qualities, but for the most part, I think it's very cohesive and connected record. It was done primarily live, and it has a very kind of honest and kind of natural feeling to it, I think.
Speaking of evolving, who or what do you think has shaped you the most over the years?
Oh, or what has shaped me the most? Um, well, on a personal level, obviously, people that, are around you, definitely shape you in some form or another. And, having done music for as long as we have, and for having started as young as we did, as far as like personal things, and what I think of character and being honest with people and stuff like that. I mean, my parents obviously huge part of that. Um, always reminding me as a young person, a young adult, that that ultimately honesty with people always matters. But musically, and some of the other things, I would say, one of our managers, a guy named Alan Kovac, I think he really was a big part of helping us to tackle a very difficult period in our career where we were basically stuck with a record company who really ultimately didn't want anything to do with us, and really didn't care or about whether or not we sold a single record or not in some form or another, because there was no real investment on their part in our success, because we'd inherited them, or I should say they had inherited us, through a corporate merger. So I think there's that factor, and I would say he was a huge part of helping us to kind of to learn in a different way to kind of stand up for yourself, and ultimately say, what, sometimes trying to cooperate with people just will not get you the necessary result. Sometimes you just need to say no. And so I think in that sense, Alan was a very, very helpful person in that process. Also, songwriting has always been the emphasis, I think, in large part for our band. I think it's always been a mission of ours to say song first. That the most important thing is writing the best possible song and putting together the best possible collection of songs. That was the case from the beginning, and it's continues to be the focus of the case now. Everything from early rock and roll to Billy Joel to lots of stuff in between. We kind of make the joke that we're like accidentally turned into a 70s rock band from the point of view of what our a lot of elements of our musical inspiration and certain things are relating to our sound, such as white guys from the Midwest growing up listening to R&B and rock and roll from the 50s, and having a lot of elements of melody and harmony in our music and things like that, which is a little bit more of a kind of Americana rootsy kind of thing. So those are a couple high points, I guess.